This is the Netherlands' new high-speed train, finally filling the gap left by the Fyra train disaster 15 years ago. This new generation of high-speed trains are gonna cross the Netherlands on its high-speed line and continue into nearby Belgium on a new service to Brussels very soon. So join me for a journey on this exciting new train as we check out all of its new features on a journey from Breda to the Dutch capital Amsterdam. This is Breda Station in the south of the Netherlands. And before we go talk about the exciting new Dutch high-speed train, I have to show you what's on top of the station. Well, a massive parking lot, but in addition to this, great views of the trains coming in and out of the station, as well as a great viewpoint of the city itself. But back on the ground, it's time for us to go catch our train. Access to the station's platforms is via the underpass that connects all of it. In this part of the station, you'll find some information posters, timetable posters, ticket machines and a few seats. However, as the Dutch ticketing system is mostly based around fixed fare journeys and take contactless payments at the gate lines to access the platforms, there is less and less reason to visit the ticket machines for simple journeys these days. You can also buy a ticket in the NS app, which is also super easy. Continuing down the underpass, we'll find some convenience stores. And at the other end of the underpass is where you will find most of the station's facilities, such as these luggage lockers, as well as the station's toilets, and these old pictures of Breda. But enough about the station, let's go and catch our train. At the barrier, simply just show your mobile ticket QR code, or tap with a contactless bank card or OV chip card to get through. And then head straight up to the platforms. And here, if you're traveling by bank or OV chip card, you have to do something very important if you're going all the way to Amsterdam via the high-speed line. As there's a small €3 supplement for every train that goes via the high-speed line from Rotterdam to Amsterdam, like ours today. To pay the supplement, you just simply tap your card on the red reader here. Breda is a busy station with both local service operated by the Sprinter trains, to international services such as this Amsterdam to Brussels Intercity service. And it's actually these kind of locomotive-hauled trains the new Intercity high-speed trains will be replacing. Basically, these locomotive-hauled trains and carriages were never meant to be kept running for so long. They were introduced as a stopgap solution following the complete failure of the Fyra trains 15 years ago. And now finally, our train is here to take over from this very permanent temporary solution. And here comes the start of today's video, empty from the sidings just outside of the station. The train comes in 3 different variations, with differences in signaling system equipment, overhead electrification compatibility and length. At the front of our train is one of the 8-car units, and towards the rear we have one of the 5-car units. And as you can see, they can all work together in multiple, depending on needs. The 2 versions in our train is the 3100 and 3200 series respectively. The third series is the 3300, which is equipped with a different signaling system and electrical system for either the German or Belgian railway network. Visually, the variants are mostly identical, but you can tell which one is which by the numbers on the front. And Wikipedia has a handy table detailing which trains have which systems and capabilities. And here's our ICNG, part of Alstom's Coradia Stream platform. They entered service last year and are capable of up to 200 km per hour. And as departure time is fast approaching, I think it's about time we head on board. I'm traveling in second class today, and as there's no seat reservations on board this train, you can just take any empty seat. And that was not really tough today. I opted for this seat in the bay of 4. And as we depart Breda, I have to say I was really excited to finally be on board this train. Basically, in my home country Denmark, we have ordered 100 Coradia Streams, which are very similar to these trains, so I was eagerly looking forward to seeing what they are like. But before we go and check out the train, let's have a look at the route map for today's journey. We are on board Intercity Direct Service 935, which leaves from Breda at 14:14, only making stops at Rotterdam Centraal, Schiphol Airport, on its way to Amsterdam Centraal. We are scheduled to cover this in 1 hour and 9 minutes, traveling 116 kilometers, giving the train an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour. After departure from Breda, I did find that the train was making some loud electrical noises, most likely from the traction motors at certain speeds. But it wasn't consistent throughout the journey, and it was definitely amplified by the fact that I was sitting on top of a powered bogie. And as we got back up to speed, ready to join the high-speed line to take us to Rotterdam, the train was pretty quiet and smooth actually. And once we start to join the high-speed line, our train can begin to accelerate towards its maximum speed of 200 km per hour. Here we reach our maximum speed as we begin to cross over the Holland Stijp on the new high-speed railway bridge. Down below to our right is the original railway line bridge that takes over the now slow lines towards Rotterdam. We are however on the HSL Zuid high-speed line. Opened in 2009, it starts just south of Amsterdam and runs via Rotterdam and the south to the Belgian border, where similar projects eventually had to connect all the way to Paris. And the numerous tunnels along this line allows for a great look at the mood lighting inside these new trains. And speaking of the seats, let's take a closer look at them. In standard they come in a 2+2 layout, in variations between airline style and with tables. At the airline style seats you'll find ample legroom, a large tray table that was pretty sturdy, a padded armrest that can be moved, a nice winged headrest. The seats themselves strike a good balance between ergonomic design and padding, more than good enough for the short journeys in the Netherlands. Down below you'll find a power socket as well as a USB port, and there's a good amount of space for storing luggage under the seat. I also thought the addition of a little NS logo on the seat was a nice design touch. Overall, I find these seats pretty good. As we approach Rotterdam Centraal, the high-speed line pauses for a bit, and we are traveling on the legacy lines in and under Rotterdam to eventually approach the main station. Rotterdam Centraal is the third busiest station in the Netherlands, right behind Utrecht and Amsterdam Centraal. The station also went through a major overhaul in 2014, adding a new massive station building, which I think looks really cool. It's definitely one of my favorite stations in the Netherlands, but you can let me know what yours is in the comments below. I'm not gonna say the train is loud, but it makes some interesting noises at certain speeds while the train is accelerating or deaccelerating. And it's only really noticeable when you sit right on top of a powered bogie. As we curve our way out of Rotterdam Centraal, the high-speed line will once again resume. And as we get back up to speed, let's have a look at the train's interior. We'll start from the back here in our 5-car unit. The layout is very varied. Here by the doors you will find space for bikes as well as tip-up seats. Continuing on, we get into second class. Here you can see the layout is again varied with these couch-like sofas. And they even get a tray table. Kind of, I guess. There's also a few luggage racks throughout the train in convenient spots. There's also space for luggage on the large overhead racks above every seat. The seats themselves are in an expected 2+2 layout in a mix of both airline style seating as well as space of 4 with table seats. Continuing on, we get to the accessibility area where you'll also find the accessible toilet. So let's do a little toilet review. The door can be opened and closed using the buttons found on the inside and outside. And once on the inside, make sure to hit the lock button. On the inside you will find the toilet nicely decorated with the beaches of the Netherlands, and it's looking surprisingly clean and was fully functional. Soap was stocked, as well as water was working, so I will give this a thumbs up. Next to the accessible toilet you will find some accessible seating, both in the form of these tip-up seats, as well as dedicated spaces for wheelchairs. One of my favorite things about these trains is definitely the mood lighting. Planes have had this for years now, and it's great to see it get on trains as well. As we get towards the middle of the train, this is where we will find first class, which you can tell by the different seat color. The seats are largely the same, just with a few minor upgrades, and the main benefit is of course it's in a 2+1 layout. And as with second class, the layout is mixed between airline style seating and base with tables. It's also worth mentioning that these trains will not only be used to replace the older rolling stock running up and down the high-speed line. With just under 100 trains on order, they will also be used to expand service to neighboring Germany and Belgium, as well as being put into service on other non-high-speed intercity routes in the Netherlands. But as we spend a lot of time traveling at 200 km per hour, we are quickly approaching Schiphol Airport, our penultimate stop. After Schiphol Airport, the high-speed line is over and we will travel on legacy lines towards Amsterdam Centraal. And as the journey is almost over, it's time for me to sum up my thoughts on the ICNG. It's a good train. It has a nice, well thought out interior, which finds a great balance between offering plenty of seats for the busy and relatively short, almost commuter-like intercity services between the large cities in the center of the country, while still catering well for those longer trips to the extremities. The train itself rides pretty smooth and mostly quiet. It's definitely not the most quiet and smooth train ever built, especially if you sit on top of a powered bogie, but overall it's pretty good. They seem to be a great versatile train for the Netherlands, and while they do have some issues, my hope for the Danish version remain high. So what do you think about this new train? Let me know in the comments down below. And as we're coming up on the end of our journey, it's time to talk about tickets. A second class ticket between Breda and Amsterdam costs 24 euros, with a €3 supplement required on top for using the high-speed line, which I think is reasonable for a flexible on-the-spot ticket. Otherwise, various discounts are available for off-peak travel and other promotions, which you can find more information about on the NS website. Our train pulls into Amsterdam Centraal right on time at 15:23 after a pretty comfortable and uneventful journey. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I try to post a new one like this every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming on the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.